We are taking a look at Captain America 282 on this day, or whatever day you are watching this video. This is the second part of our Captain America Madame Hydra's Nomad trilogy. This is the issue where the Buckyman from the 1950s, Jack Nomad, becomes Nomad. He becomes the third Marvel superhero to use the Nomad identity, and he will be the longest to hold that very unillustrious title. This issue was also reprinted in the 90s, in 1992. They did a second printing of this issue because they were launching the Nomad ongoing title. Notably, they corrected Nomad's hair colour on the cover. They made it brown, and they also recoloured all the background silver, and it had a Nabisco box at the top right. On the actual cover, Nomad has black hair, which he sported for the last issue, but inside his hair is now brown, which it will remain, even though I think I prefer it being black. Captain America has been captured by Madame Hydra's, and he is having a drug-induced series of nightmares. There is a stain on this page that really annoys me. So, my main gripes with this story are that Madame Hydra's has Captain America as her prisoner, and she has injected him with opium, and she doesn't even try to rape him. What a waste of paper this story is. She should be using the drugs to warp his mind and make him believe that she is his wife, or she is his lover, or she is his mom, or something. And then Captain America, he should be fucking her against the wall, and she is grinning evilly throughout it all. And maybe she can, wrap her legs around his head, and he can eat her out and call her his goddess, or something. Such a bad story, this. It should be filled with moondragoning. Working for Madame Hydra's is Constrictive Man. Marvel bad guy Constrictive Man. He is a bit out of place, but that does come into the story. He is a thug for hire. That is why he is here. Constrictive Man first appeared in Hulk. Hulk 212, I think it was. Created by either Lenny Wen or Royce Sternum. I think it was Lenny. And the artist was Buscema 2. The second Buscema. He has coils. That's Constrictive Man's thing. Electric coils that come out the back of his wrists. He did fight Captain America in Captain America 228. He had since teamed up with Sabreclaw in several Powerful Mans and Iron Fists. A partnership I think we should have since gotten a lot more explanation for. After this, he will have a fairly robust career as a baddie, working for many different people. There was actually Dan Slott put him on the path to redemption in the 2000s. He was being a good guy for a few years. He started seeing Rachel Diamond. But it's Marvel, so it was ignored and undone after a few years and never mentioned again. We do establish and set up straight away that Constrictive Man is in it for the money. He knows Madame Hydra's is a loon, but he is getting paid enough to ignore it. And here we have a great setup for Captain America being made into Madame Idris's love slave. He's saying he will never grovel, no matter how much drugs they pump into him. Really, Captain America should be sexually assaulted on every page by Madame Idris. And it doesn't happen once. Instead, we have undercover S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Gail Runsita. She has infiltrated Madame Idris's operation. And then we cut to Pity Party Theatre. Jack Norman has gone back to Beanie Feldstein, and he is moping about being so useless. They gone to Falcon Man for help, and Jack Norman is racist. I forgot that bit. Falcon Man, he cannot help out because he is running for Congress, and that plotline goes nowhere. So they next go to S.H.I.E.L.D, who have been spying on and monitoring Madame Idris. She is planning to launch a big bioterror attack on Illinois. And here is Spider-Girl for a 2-panel check-in. Yes, I did fight Madame Idris. That is the extent of her contribution. She will be dying very soon anyway. We get Madame Idris's evil plot here. I quite like how she is written. She is in character for this story. She wants to poison the Americas. She is going to spread a plague, and Constrictive Man overheard all of her monologue. And now we get to our main offensive, which is wonky as hell. Jack Norman ditches his Bucky Man costume and is now Norman. The reason for this change is because Samuel L. Jackson told him it would upset Madame Idris. So let's talk about Norman. Norman was an identity used by Captain America, Steve Rogers, when he quit being Captain America. It was a brief period, but during that time, he battled Madame Idris and her Serpent Society of America. That is why apparently Jack Norman dressing up as Norman will upset Madame Idris. There was a second Norman, introduced by the same writer as this, Captain America 261, a 3-parter where a showboating, show-off showman adopted Captain America's former identity for himself. So now we have our third Norman, and he will stay Norman for most of the remainder of his life. He will become Captain America's sidekick for a time and continue to appear in this book for the next couple of years. The problem is, while interesting as a character, Norman is not interesting as a superhero. He doesn't have anything special beyond his characterization. One of the big problems with Norman is that he is as strong as, possibly even stronger than, Captain America, and that doesn't really work for a sidekick character, and it creates an obvious problem with Captain America being second fiddle to Norman. even with all the character exploration in the world, no man is on the surface redundant. He is doubling up on Captain America. Can't mention this heart attack here without also acknowledging the retcon they did to all this guy's appearances that absolutely breaks this plot point insanely. One thing I like about Jim DeMatteis' Nomad is he is such a fuck up. He doesn't succeed at anything. He is tricked every single time. He is defeatist. And he is an actual patsy. He had an advantage for all of a page in this story. Also, Captain America is brainwashed and calls Madam Hydra's mistress on this page. So let's say something happened off panel. I like this issue. I do think the motivation to transform Jack Nomad into Nomad is badly exposited. I don't think you need to turn it into a bit of psychological warfare. I think you only needed to have his Bucky-Man costume destroyed in battle last issue, and then he finds this in Steve Rogers' wardrobe. Let's leave this video with a question. Jack Nomad, brown hair or black hair? Which is your... Well, that's a stupid question. You're all going to say brown because you predominantly only know him as having brown hair. I like the simple idea that we can visually identify the Bucky-Man by hair colour. Original Bucky-Man has brown hair. Second Bucky-Man, Fred, he has red hair. And then Jack would have black hair. I would like that to be the canon. Dickie Jones has brown hair too, but a bit longer than original Bucky-Man. And Lamar has another way to tell which one he is. Then of course there is the girl one from Heroes Reborn. And baby Bucky-Man, of course, she is adorable. She is the best Bucky-Man. The baby from Nomad's ongoing series. The baby has put me in a good mood, so I will give Captain America 282 a 7 thumbs up.